This week on Inside Boulder News. This Boulder-based volunteer group has made over 200 rescues in Boulder County. Check out what they do. Staff need the community's help on this city-owned site. And from child soldier to college graduate, see how this lost boy found his freedom. Welcome to Inside Boulder News, your source for all things Boulder. I'm Jocelyn Avendaño. Being separated from your family at a young age due to unimaginable circumstances isn't something most of us go through in life. But this was the hard reality of now 40-year-old Joseph Ayani. Ayani shares with us how his long journey to freedom shaped his life. Joseph Ayani was just 8 years old when he was forced out of his home and separated from his family in South Sudan.
Life was tough, because we had war, and that war is the one that forced me to leave, my home in 1987.
It was a civil war between the North and the South, a war in Sudan that took the life of nearly 2 million people. The Khartoum Arab government from the north drove the Christian southern Sudanese out of their villages by burning homes and killing kids along the way. What came next was the displacement of over 20,000 boys between the ages of 5 and 11. They became known as the Lost Boys. Joseph was one of them.
They want to kill everybody, so I have to run away from my life so that I can find where I can, survive.
Girls during this time were sold into slavery or married off. For Joseph and the rest of the Lost Boys, it was fight or flight. The young boys walked over 1,000 miles to Ethiopia to seek refuge, a walk full of hardships that took over 3 months to complete.
It was tough, on the way we have to face a lot of challenges, We don't have food, and water. People died because of hunger and thirsty. And sometimes the wild animals, they attack, the children on the way. So it was very rough life on the way to Ethiopia. A lot of people died on the way.
But the series of unfortunate events didn't stop there for Joseph. In 1992, yet another war broke out in Ethiopia, forcing him to seek security elsewhere.
We came to Kenya in '92, and that's where we escaped, the war zone, So we were like in the refugee camp now. So the rebel leaders cannot come and get us, So that is how we escape and focus on school instead of, worried of going back to fight,
How was life as a child soldier?
It's very hard, Yeah, it's very hard. There are a lot of challenges, You get sick and we don't have doctors or parents, to get. So we were the one support ourselves, If somebody is sick, we were the one to comfort them or make food for them. And so it was very hard, very hard life.
In the refugee camp of Kakuma, Kenya, Joseph still faced adversity such as going weeks on end without food. It wasn't until 2001 when he and close to 4,000 other Lost Boys, now men, were able to resettle in the United States, seeking peace, freedom, and education.
We have local agencies here in Denver and Boulder. So our general agency was in Denver, and then my local sponsor was in Boulder.
A local sponsor Joseph now calls his American mom, a word he wasn't able to say out loud in over a decade since being separated from his family. Looking for his family was one of the first things Joseph did once in the U.S.
They thought I was dead, so they forget me. So, but after I came here, I tried to ask people in Sudan, in the capital city, Khartoum, and one of my mom's step-brother, he told me that your mom is in Darfur side.
Through a failed attempt at bringing his mom to the U.S., Joseph was able to reconnect with his mom in Australia, where she lives after successfully escaping from Sudan.
They are now in Australia, and I'm here, and I still have 2 sisters back home with their family. They are married. Even I went to Australia like 3 times, and then I went back home 1 time, but the first time in 2015.
Joseph calls Boulder his second home. Here, he was able to learn how to speak English and earned his GED thanks to Boulder Reads, a free Boulder Public Library program where volunteers help with literacy and language skills. So you came to Boulder. How did you find out about the Boulder Reads program here?
Through my, my American mom and volunteer. So she brought me to Boulder Reed here, Boulder Library. So it was great. Yeah, Boulder Reed was my my first step in getting education here in America.
So how would you say being here in the U.S. changed your life since?
Yeah, it changed my life, because I have a lot of opportunity here, than I was in, like in Kenya, for example. We have a school, but it was not great. We have a lot of challenges, and we don't have food. Sometimes you go without food for a week or so. But here I have a lot of opportunity, go to school, attend college, graduate from university.
Joseph is now happily married with 4 children and recently graduated from American Public University with a degree in counterintelligence. He is now studying online for his master's degree with the goal of becoming a special agent with the FBI.
I want to protect people, so because of crazy thing that I have been in when I was young, and then, after 9/11, when I see they attack people, it changed my mind, like I need to being able to protect people.
Not only does Joseph want to help protect people, but he also wants to give back to the community that saw him fight for his freedom and that to this day still has many people in need. He and other Lost Boys run 2 Ls, the World Educational Libraries and Schools, a charity with the goal to build libraries and schools back in their native country.
They want to learn, but they don't have resources. Like I went there, and the teachers asked me to go to school, and there was nothing. It's like under streets, like I used to do. And it made me feel emotional, like this kid, they need help, But I don't have power to help them. So that's why I try to reach out to people. If somebody can help, it will be appreciated.
Rocky Mountain Rescue Group has fast become one of the busiest volunteer rescue groups in the United States. Last year, the Boulder-based rescue group conducted over 200 rescues, a record for any volunteer rescue organizations in the entire nation. Leilani Osmondson has more.
The service that they provide, I can't imagine how any of these individual agencies would handle search and rescue calls without their help.
I'm Drew Hildner. I'm one of the leaders of the Rocky Mountain Rescue Group. I'm also the Public Information Officer.
I'm one of 2 Ranger Operations Supervisors for the City of Boulder Open Space and Mountain Parks Department.
I'm Angela Tomzik. I am a field team leader and I'm the business manager on the executive board for Rocky Mountain Rescue Group. Rocky Mountain Rescue Group is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization that provides mountain search and rescue to Boulder County.
We are an emergency services agency. We get toned out just like police and fire.
We serve hikers, climbers, skiers, runners. We get anyone who's recreating outside.
Last year we set a record for any volunteer rescue group in the country with 235 rescues. So we definitely stay busy, and a lot of it is just due to the wonderful recreating that's just right out the door for most Boulderites.
Well, I've been a park ranger for the city for 21 years in various capacities, so I've been on a large number of calls with Rocky Mountain Rescue, and certainly some individual calls stand out where their passion, their professionalism, their ability to really accomplish any mission is on display. They're impressive on the individual level for sure, but as a group collective, their ability to show up time after time after time after time and accomplish missions is pretty impressive.
None of these rescues could be done without a team involved. Even if one person is the only person that ends up interacting with the patient, there's still just a whole structure and logistics that have to be taken care of.
They're all with their families, they're all at work, they're all at school, they're all doing all the things that they do all the time, and the pager goes off and they put all that aside.
This is volunteerism that you can't schedule around. You can't say, okay, yeah, I'm free Tuesdays from 6 to 8. So whenever the pager goes off, you have to go.
The Alpine-Balsam area plan is nearing the home stretch. A proposed direction on the area plan will be presented to Council in August. But before City Council do that, they would like to take it to the community one last time for feedback. Since the purchase of the nearly 9-acre site at Alpine-Balsam in 2015, there has been a robust engagement process, first starting off with the project's vision plan. Here, the community along with city staff outlined their hopes and opportunities for the site's redevelopment.
After the vision plan, over the last year we've been in the area planning process. So we took all those ideas and all the great direction from the vision plan, and we've done a lot more analysis and testing, gotten a little bit more real about how do we configure the uses for the site and what are the impacts to the area.
Key goals for the area plan include strengthening the retail core while finding ways to add affordable housing and balance the mixed uses of the area.
This whole area is a really special part of the city. It has incredible neighborhoods, great access to both the mountains and North Boulder Park, a wonderful thriving retail center, and a really cool mix of uses that are here.
As city staff get one step closer to finishing the draft area plan for Alpine-Balsam, community members will be presented with various options for the site in which they'll be able to provide feedback on.
We have some that emphasize housing, some that emphasize housing a little more, so a little more density to more strongly emphasize housing to meet those needs. And then some are about mixed use. We also are still considering an option that brings Boulder County's facilities to the site along with the City Service Center and what that might mean for meeting the affordable housing goals.
There will be 2 open houses in which those interested in attending can drop in at any time. The first one will be held on Saturday, July 13th at 1136 Alpine Avenue from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will also be 2 walking tours available. The next walking tour will be on Monday, July 15th from 7:30 to 9 a.m. at the same address. Space is limited on the walking tours, so community members are encouraged to sign up with Eventbrite. To see a full list on the upcoming engagement events, please visit the website seen on your screen. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside Boulder News. If you have pictures, news tips, or events you'd like to see featured, we love to hear from you. Connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. You can also sign up to receive video updates right in your inbox. Just go to boulderchannel8.com and click on subscribe. Have a good week.